Hi, welcome back to another episode of Streetport Connection with Tommy. Okay, this report is on the Genesis pay-per-view that was just went off the air about 10 minutes ago, and I missed the first two matches, so I'm going to be reading it off the internet reports. First match was Jay Lethal versus Kazarian for the TNA X Division title. Winner is Kazarian. Of course, everybody interferes in the match. Let's see. I'll go right to the finish. Kazarian with a kick to the throat when Lethal got up on the top turnbuckle. Ref took a bump when Lethal pushed Kazarian away in the corner. Kazarian crotched Lethal in the top turnbuckle and hits the reverse tombstone pile driver. Kazarian with a cover and gets the 3 count. Winner, new X Division title holder, Kazarian. This is not the only championship that changed hands through the night. After the match, Kazarian is handed the title and he starts to celebrate when highlights of the match is shown leading to the finish. Then they go to Tenay and Taz near the stage discussing how Immortal and Fortune had a goal tonight to gain all the championships in TNA, how Kazarian has brought them to one step closer to that goal. Backstage, Flair is telling Eric Bischoff that AJ Styles can't wrestle tonight due to some sort of injury, but he's actually not injured because he interferes later on in a match that he was supposedly scheduled in. Bischoff complains about dealing with the problems with Dixie Carter, not to mention everything Hulk Hogan is going through health-wise, and he is now trying to understand why AJ can't wrestle tonight. Flair said it is serious. AJ has been having problems with his knee for a while and made it worse spending time with his kids. Bischoff said he made a promise that Immortal would win the TNA titles tonight. He wants a solution right now and tells AJ to limp his ass out of here. AJ tosses things off Bischoff's table. Flair says they can work through this. The video package runs, focusing on the next match. Mickie James becoming the number one contender for the TNA Knockout Championship, and her match versus Madison Rayne is next. Again, I did not see this one, so I'm getting the results off of the internet. Not much to this match. James with some quick offense early on, including a big drop kick, sending Rayne through the ropes to the outside. Rayne then argues with the referee to do his job. James with a reverse headlock. Rayne scales up the ropes to try and break it, but Mickie breaks the hold and Rayne falls to the mat with force. Rayne then pulls James down by her hair. James with a big Luther press and then tosses Rayne across the ring by her hair. Rayne rolls out as the referee starts the 10 count. Rayne drops Mickey's jaw off the top rope, breaks the count and gets a quick 2 count. The crowd in Orlando starts a loud "You can't wrestle" chant towards Madison Rayne. James fights back with a quick drop kick to the face, hook of the leg and a close 2 count. Rayne with a roll up and using the ropes without the referee noticing for another 2 count. James with a big head scissors on Rayne, but is tossed off the top turnbuckle when Rayne recovers. Rayne keeps the action grounded, working over the head of Mickie, and Madison attempts a scissor stomp, but James counters out quickly. Taz called Madison's moves vintage, quoting Michael Cole. James licks her hands, spanks Madison in the corner. James with a reverse neck breaker. Terrorist music hits and she walks down the ramp. This distracts the Mickie as she jumps out of the ring, gets in Terrorist's face. Referee gets in between them, and Rayne drops down laying on her back as James gets back in. James picks her up and Rayne hits her with a big left hand, which has something wrapped around it. It appears Madison had the glove that she was wearing loaded. Reign hooks the leg and gets a pinfall. Winner and still TNA Knockouts champion, Madison Rayne. That is the only belt that stayed in the possession of the owner. After the match, we see Madison moving her arm to drop down whatever it was in her glove to help her knock out James. Then they go backstage with Fortune to celebrate with Kazarian holding the TNA X Division Championship. Kazarian reminds everyone he is now a 4-time X Division champion. Ric Flair fires beer money up with "Woo!" Eric Bischoff steps in, and Christy Hemme wants to know who will face RVD tonight and who will replace AJ tonight as well. Bischoff informs us that Abyss will replace AJ. So, it ends up as Abyss versus Douglas Williams for that title. Then they show a video package running the hyping for the Motor City Machine Guns versus Beer Money for the TNA Tag Team Championships. Motor City Machine Guns are up next, defending the TNA Tag Team Championships against Beer Money. And that match was next. That match went back and forth. It finished very predictable with a Robert Roode from Beer Money. He was in the corner holding one of the machine guns in the corner as his tag team member was getting up and was going to give him a kick. Robert Roode moves out of the way, kicks him right in the face, pinfall. Robert Roode gets a 3 count for the pinfall. Now, I'm going to say during that match, even though it was a pretty good match, I wouldn't give it the best match of the night, but it's in the runnings. Let's see, who was next? Douglas Williams and Abyss. Interference from AJ Styles. Thus, Abyss is your new champion, helping him win. I'll go right to it. Okay, Abyss is grabbing some weapons from the outside. Referee sees it, tells Abyss to put it away. Referee's distracted. AJ Styles comes to the ring with a TNA Championship belt and knocks him out. Knocks out Williams with it. Abyss drops the 2x4, being Janice. Returns to the ring, lifts up Williams, and executes a standing black hole slam for the win. After the match, Abyss celebrates with TNA Television Champion. With the TNA Television Championship, TNA mentions that Immortal did what they said they would do, even though they cheated in every single match, and they did cheat in every single match tonight, even in the main event. Backstage, RVD tells Eric Bischoff to make the match with Jeff Hardy to get his revenge. Which he did not say Jeff Hardy, he said, give it a match with Hardy. And Bischoff did say, you want a match with Hardy? Well, you got a match. Well, guess what? Surprise! You got a match with Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy gets the win. Anyways, with the cheating move, referee did not see the foot clearly out of the ring. Earlier in the match, Matt barely had his arm just barely underneath the rope. Referee sees that, brings him back in, and thus Matt does his patented maneuvers, the side effect, and of course a twist of fate. And that was your surprise of the evening. And we got Bubba Ray versus Brother Devon. Devon, I believe, should have won this match, but again, classic. Actually, they gave the match to Bully Ray. Let's see. Devon catches Ray with an elbow, goes up top, jumps forward, and Ray counters with a modified-looking RKO. Devon with a huge spine buster on Ray, hooked the leg of Ray, gets the shoulder up. Ray puts Devon on the top turnbuckle, connects with some huge chest chops. Ray then climbs up and executes a huge superplex on Devon. Ray grabs his chain and tries to hit Devon with it. Devon ducks and gives Ray a high back body drop. Oh yeah, Bubba Ray won by disqualification because Devon picks up the chain and hits the back of Ray and knocks him out. The referee calls for the 3 count. After the match, Devon continues hitting Ray over the back with a chain. More referees hit the ring and pull Devon away. The crowd in Orlando chants, let them fight. Doesn't really happen. As it took all the referees to hold Devon back. Ray eventually got free and nailed Devon a few times. Taz described it as a swift kick to the yam bag. Yep. Okay, low blow. Ray low blow Devon. And bails out to the back. Backstage, Christy Hemme was with Jeff Jarrett, getting his thoughts on the MMA exhibition with Kurt Angle tonight. Jarrett said his knowledge of Kurt Angle is not undefeated in his MMA career and hasn't even had an MMA match. He said he's undefeated in MMA and $100,000 he put up for grabs is proof. Jarrett said he will put that money on the line tonight in 3 rounds at 2 minutes each. He says his plans to fill out Angle tonight early on, adding to Christie as he is speaking on his MMA talk. Okay, what happened during that match? It went to the first time limit. Of course, you know how MMA in a couple minute rounds. Well, I only saw like a portion of the first round. I was back and forth to the bathroom. I figured it was a boring match anyways. Not much. I wasn't even interested in this match at all. Well, the match gets thrown out. Anyways, I believe it was after the second round. I'll go to the results. Yep, round number 1, 2 minutes countdown. Angle starts stalks Jarrett, and Jarrett circles around, teases takedown, backs off. Angle then drops down to his back, begging Jarrett to walk up. 30 seconds is on the clock as Angle sits back up. Angle goes for a takedown. Angle attempts a double leg. Angle gets a takedown, and Angle locks on a rear naked choke as the time expires. They get an MMA-style corner break with Jeff Jarrett's crew hyping him up. And at this time, Kurt Angle was still standing in the middle of the ring. He didn't even go to his corner. He had nobody there. Round 2, Angle extends his leg, inviting Jarrett to shoot on him. Jarrett goes for a takedown. Angle spalls out and gets Kimura locked on. Jarrett breaks free and yells out, "Son of a bitch!" Angle with another takedown and gets side control. Angle attempts an arm triangle and gets it locked on. Angle breaks free, saying he can tap Jarrett whenever he wants. Angle with a front choke, and Jarrett gets to his feet on the ropes to break it up. Angle with a lousy looking takedown, floating over into an arm bar. Angle breaks that and gets the ankle lock applied as round number 2 expires. Jarrett spits towards Angle. Jarrett's crew yelled at him, "This is your round, Jeff." It appears Gunner and Murphy rubbed something on the chest of Jeff Jarrett, which I didn't see. It's probably the baby powderish Vaseline type of thing, like they always do when Jeff Jarrett had his little TV matches. Jarrett locked up with Angle, rubs his face in his chest. Angle favors his eyes. Jarrett with a big right hand to Angle. We then clearly see Angle is getting ready to blade on the mat. So he cuts himself while he's on the mat. Bad camera shot. Blood starts pouring down the face of Angle as Jarrett rains down with huge right hands. Referee calls for the bell. It rang for several minutes. So they decided it's a no contest. After the match, Jarrett continues to hit Kurt right whenever I came in, that's whenever they were ringing the bell. He continued to hit Kurt over the forehead with big right hands. Blood continues to pour out over the head of Angle. They do a close-up of the blood literally pouring into a puddle on the mat. Jarrett yells at Angle that he is retiring his MMA boots and he will hold a retirement for Angle with himself. Angle, and you know it, and you know who else Jarrett walks up to near Tenay and Taz saying he is retiring from MMA undefeated. Wow, what everybody knew, Jeff Jarrett sucks at MMA matches. Very similar to a boxing match with Roddy Piper and Mr. T, from WWE days. Get disqualified because it's a boxing match. He turned it into a wrestling match, a body slam Mr. T. Well, backstage, Christy Hemme is with TNA champion Jeff Hardy and mentions up next is Matt Morgan versus Mr. Anderson to determine who will become the number one contender to face him for the TNA Championship. Hardy said, welcome to Chapter Genesis, where anything can happen. Video package highlighting Matt Morgan versus Mr. Anderson in a number one contenders match for the TNA Championship. Matt Morgan versus Mr. Anderson, number one contenders match is up next. And it's your main event. Prior, because they made another match after that match, which was your total main event. I'm going to go straight to the finish because Mr. Ken Anderson defeated Matt Morgan in the number one contender spot match. Okay, let's see. I'll go right to where it finishes. Anderson takes out the leg. Morgan favors his knee. Anderson stomps over his foot. Anderson scissor locks the back leg knee of Morgan, and then locks on a single leg Boston Crab. Morgan gets to the bottom rope. Anderson breaks a hold. Morgan with a powerful choke slam off the top turnbuckle on Anderson to the mat. Taz notes that he looked at how Anderson's head whiplash off the mat during the choke slam, referencing to his past concussion. Morgan plants Anderson with big clotheslines. Anderson counters Morgan's twisting clothesline into the mid check. Anderson covers. 1, 2. Morgan somehow gets the shoulder up. Morgan and Anderson exchange right hands. Morgan with a carbon footprint. 1, 2. Anderson kicks out. Morgan can't believe it. Morgan counters with another mid check attempt. Anderson attempts a shoulder block. Looks like they connected heads. Anderson with a quick cradle roll up and gets the pinfall. Winner and number one contender for the TNA Championship, Mr. Anderson. After the match, the Immortals music hits. Eric Bischoff walks down the ramp with a steel chair in hand. Bischoff teases he would hit Anderson with a chair, but instead sets it up and sits down. Bischoff gets on the mic and says, "Why wait?" He says Anderson will get his title shot right now. Jeff Hardy defending the TNA Championship is up next. Excuse me. I'll give you the entire match. Jeff Hardy Mr. Anderson, when he was all beaten up, he gives him 2 twists of hates in a row. Anderson kicked out. The third one he attempted, he just back flipped him out of the ring, or arm drag, which got him out of the ring. That sets up Jeff Hardy going around the ring, teasing with a chair shot himself. Out from nowhere is Mick Foley at the pay-per-view. He grabs the chair from Jeff Hardy and says no. And this time, Ric Flair is coming down the ringside, down the rampway, and the other referees and TNA security are taking them both out of the match. All right, Jeff Hardy is still walking around the ring, back to the ring. He motions for somebody to come to the back, and guess what? His brother, Matt Hardy, comes back out. They both try and get in a match and double team on Mr. Anderson. Guess what? Anderson took out Matt Hardy with some move, and then got a move on. Okay, no, I take it back. Before Matt even got in the ring, RVD comes out, brawls with Matt Hardy, and they go around ringside fighting while the ending happens as Mr. Anderson kicks out of another twist of fate and the Swanton Bomb. Makes Jeff mad. Surprise, he gets a mic check and pinfall. End of match. New TNA champion. Goodbye, Jeff Hardy from TNA. See you in jail. Sorry, but when you do the crime, you got to do the time. And that's how they've written Jeff Hardy off of TNA for his jail time. And that ends my report for the TNA Genesis pay-per-view. Stay tuned tomorrow night for Raw reports and along with Superstar spoilers as well.